Scientists found a new panther species, but should it be public knowledge is a debate that raises ethical, ecological, and conservation-related concerns. The discovery of a previously unknown panther species is an extraordinary breakthrough in wildlife science, shedding light on evolution, biodiversity, and genetic diversity. Many undiscovered species remain hidden in remote jungles, mountainous regions, and isolated habitats, making this find particularly significant. New big cat species are rarely identified, as most have been extensively studied through genetics, fossil records, and ecological surveys. If scientists have confirmed a new species of panther, it could reshape conservation priorities, legal protections, and scientific understanding of large feline evolution. However, some experts argue that revealing the existence of a new panther species to the public could put the animal at risk of poaching and habitat destruction. Throughout history, newly discovered species have been overexploited, illegally hunted, or targeted for commercial trade once their existence became widely known. Big cats, including leopards, tigers, and jaguars, are already critically threatened by poaching for their skins, bones, and body parts in illegal wildlife markets. A new panther species would likely become a high-value target for trophy hunters, exotic pet traders, and collectors of rare animal specimens. If this species exists in a small, isolated population, any human interference could lead to immediate population decline or even extinction. Conservationists worry that revealing its location could encourage habitat destruction, illegal logging, and human encroachment into fragile ecosystems. Some scientists believe that species discovery should be kept confidential until effective conservation strategies are in place to protect the animals. In past cases, species kept secret for years were later introduced into protected reserves, ensuring they were safeguarded before public awareness grew. For example, rare plant and animal species in biologically sensitive areas like Madagascar, the Amazon, and Southeast Asia have been deliberately hidden from commercial interests. However, keeping the discovery of a new panther species classified also raises ethical concerns about scientific transparency and public right to knowledge. Scientists have a responsibility to share discoveries that contribute to global biodiversity research and inform conservation policies. If the new species remains unknown to the public, conservation funding, legal protections, and global wildlife treaties may not be applied to protect it. Government policies often rely on species classification, population estimates, and ecological studies to justify wildlife protection laws and habitat preservation efforts. Without public awareness, it may be difficult to secure funding, research grants, or international support for conservation programs targeting the newly discovered panther. Another concern is that secrecy could backfire, leading to unregulated discoveries by private entities, corporations, or illegal wildlife traders who exploit the lack of official recognition. Some scientists argue that publicly announcing the species allows for collaborative conservation, engaging governments, NGOs, and indigenous communities in protection efforts. Many of the world's endangered species, such as snow leopards, Florida panthers, and Iberian lynxes, gained stronger protections once their population risks became widely known. However, conservation history also shows that publicizing rare animal locations can lead to an influx of illegal activity, including poaching and habitat destruction. Rhino populations in Africa suffered massive poaching surges after conservationists publicly reported their declining numbers and locations. The same pattern has been seen with pangolins, jaguars, and rare bird species, which became targets in illegal wildlife markets after increased media attention. Keeping a new panther species secret might allow conservationists to study its habitat, behavior, and population stability before revealing its existence. If researchers can develop breeding programs, anti-poaching efforts, and habitat restoration strategies, the species would have a better chance of long-term survival. Genetic studies could help determine whether this panther species evolved from existing big cats or represents an entirely new evolutionary branch. Some scientists suggest a compromise, publishing general research on the species without disclosing its exact location until strong protections are in place. This approach would allow for scientific collaboration while preventing direct threats to the animal's survival from poachers and land developers. A key question in this debate is who should decide when a species discovery is made public: scientists, governments, or international conservation organizations? If corporate interests or political pressures influence when and how species are announced, it could lead to exploitation, mismanagement, or delays in crucial protections. Some critics fear that withholding scientific discoveries could set a dangerous precedent, allowing governments or corporations to hide biodiversity data for economic gain. Pharmaceutical and biotech companies have been accused of keeping certain plant and animal species undisclosed to secure patents and commercial benefits. In some cases, governments have restricted access to biodiversity research, preventing indigenous communities and conservationists from protecting endangered species. If secrecy is prioritized over transparency, entire ecosystems could be altered before protective measures are even considered. Public awareness campaigns, when handled responsibly, can generate support for conservation, fundraising efforts, and international pressure to protect new species. Educating local communities about the importance of species conservation can help prevent illegal hunting and encourage sustainable coexistence. However, if not managed carefully, public attention could result in habitat destruction through increased tourism, scientific expeditions, or unauthorized wildlife trade. Tourism industries might rush to capitalize on the new species, promoting unregulated ecotourism before researchers have even assessed its environmental needs. If local economies depend on hunting, deforestation, or agriculture, governments may prioritize economic gain over protecting newly discovered wildlife. In the case of the okapi, secrecy helped conservationists establish protected reserves before illegal logging and hunting pressures escalated. Similar conservation strategies could be applied to a newly discovered panther species, ensuring its survival before revealing its existence to the world. Ultimately, the debate centers on whether transparency or secrecy is the best approach to protecting newly identified species from extinction. If the species is revealed too soon, it could fall victim to poaching, habitat destruction, and unethical exploitation before conservation laws are enacted. If the species remains hidden for too long, it risks not receiving the international funding, legal recognition, and conservation efforts needed for survival. The challenge is finding a balanced approach, one that ensures species protection while promoting scientific discovery and responsible ecological stewardship. The future of this newly discovered panther species may depend not only on how it is protected, but on when and how the world learns of its existence.